Welcome to another illustrated review. Before we dig into the mystery behind a classic murder mystery book, please support this channel by clicking the like and subscribe buttons. Also check out my channel for videos showing how artwork, like in this video, is created. Thank you, I appreciate it. So, a real-life celebrity mystery that shook the world, and a fictional Belgian detective whose creator grew to detest him. What do these things have in common? Well, they're all connected to the best-selling book, Murder on the Orient Express. Watch to the end of the video for the true story behind the classic in the spoilers section. Before I solve the mysterious connection for you, let's first begin our journey on the Orient Express with the story itself. A classic murder mystery, first published in 1934 and written by the prolific author Dame Agatha Christie, whose books have gone on to sell over 2 billion copies. Like many of you, I have seen multiple screen adaptations of this classic tale, including the 2017 film directed by Kenneth Branagh, but I've never actually read the original book, so I wondered, what more could the book bring to the story? Would it stand up even when I knew the ending? After all, they weren't called whodunits for nothing. Without spoiling the story for those who haven't read it, seen it or listened to this classic, I will try and explain the premise of Murder on the Orient Express. At first, it seems like a standard Agatha Christie murder mystery. Set in the 1930s, the detective, Hercule Poirot, finds himself on a luxury train travelling for Yugoslavia, when the train becomes stuck in a snowstorm in modern-day Croatia, somewhere between Vukovsky and Brod. I'm butchering the pronunciation, I know. At the same time, a murder is committed, and so begins a locked room mystery, and only one of the travellers in Poirot's carriage could have committed the crime. But yet they all have alibis, and clues start appearing that confuse the case even further. On top of this, Poirot discovers an even darker history and deeper motives that have a bearing on the murder. Without the use of modern CSI forensic or surveillance footage, Poirot must use his wits to uncover the truth. A truth that ends in a way unlike most murder mysteries of the time. So does the book bring more to the story than the movies? Well, the answer is yes. The book appears to focus more on the dialogue. Well, at least your attention focuses more sharply on the way interrogations and conversations are held, on the way Poirot uncovers the truths step by step. Also, like with most books, reading somehow puts you in the time period better than movies. The thoughts of the characters, the scenes are much more engaging. It was as if you were standing over the shoulder of the detective, working out the clues with him. Plus, you get a sneak feeling of what it is like to travel on the famous luxury train in its heyday, as the author had first-hand experience of riding on it, an experience that influenced her latter book. In her biography, Agatha Christie hinted that her fellow passengers helped inspire the story. Before we move on to the spoiler section and discover the true story behind the book, let's first give it a rating. So, I can recommend Murder on the Orient Express as a great read, and even more so if you've never experienced this classic story in any way before. I give it 4 pencils out of 5. Now onto the spoilers section. You have been warned. The book focuses on an American named Samuel Ratchet, stabbed 12 times with differing degrees of force and angles, but it quickly turns out the victim's real name is Christie, a man responsible for the kidnapping and murder of a 3-year-old daughter of the wealthy Armstrong family, a murder which led to collateral deaths. Christie escaped justice due to corruption. Murder on the Orient Express is ultimately a tale of karmic justice catching up with Christie in the form of his fellow travellers, 12 passengers, 12 jurors, 12 people deeply connected to the Armstrong case, and 12 knife wounds. And unlike most murder mysteries, even though the detective discovers the truths, he lets the killers go, due to moral justice beyond the code of law, a justice for the Armstrong family and for their murdered little girl. And this is where truth and fiction collide. The true story behind the Murder on the Orient Express is how closely it is inspired by the true events of the time. the kidnapping and murder of the baby boy of the celebrity aviator couple, the Lindenbergs. Charles Lindenberg made the first non-stop flight from New York to Paris. 2 years before the book was published, Charles Lindenberg Jr. was kidnapped from his crib in New Jersey. A large ransom was demanded and paid, but the Lindenberg child was later found dead. Initially, the maid came incorrectly under suspicion and as a result committed suicide, just like a character in the book. Unlike the book, a culprit was found, tried and convicted and executed. The arrest occurred at the time of the book's publication. So the book almost has the characters act out what the US courts would end up doing. But there may also be one final twist that even Agatha Christie could not have foreseen. A twist that could shine a new light on the book's ending. Ever since the trial, there have been some who have questioned the validity of the conviction. Some believe the suspect, a man named Hauptmann, was actually innocent and unlawfully executed due to inadequate police investigation and possible undue pressure and influence brought down by the powerful Lindenberg family. So if true, and if Agatha Christie's book is a mirror of this real story, then what if the vigilante justice by those connected to the powerful celebrity family that was exacted in this book was actually unjust, and Hercule Poirot let 12 murderers go? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons to help support this channel. Also again, check out this channel to see art tutorials, to see how artwork like in this video is created. So keep sketching. I'll see you next time. Bye.